Fight fire with fire. Yeah. I mean, they don't fight fire with fire. What they want to do is they just want to nix your channel, bro, and they want you to take your videos down and all that other shit like that. It's just weird shit, but it is what it is, you know. So again, like, if you guys don't see me, again, might hit that 7 days, whatever. See what happens. Again, I was talking to you guys I was doing everything behind the scenes when it came to the 8 strikes. I was just like, okay, I'm just going, I'm gonna fight it. I'm gonna go ahead, with this guy. And I won, came on here, celebrated, and I shouldn't have said nothing. Because they're like, well, if he can strike your mama, I can strike your mama. So, yeah. So I shouldn't have said nothing. That's my fault. I should have came on here and I should have just been like, like I don't even talk about that shit. But I came on here. I was so happy that I was 8 strikes free. Let me see.
Hello and welcome back to Jan's Views for You. And today we're going to be talking about Javon's comeback and lack of accountability. I'm going to look at it from a slightly different angle and ask the question, what type of person supports problematic online behaviour? We're going to be hearing from Dr. Todd Grande, who is absolutely brilliant, about what type of person watches somebody like Javon, whatever, the slow one. You know who I'm talking about. I'm also going to be sharing a little bit of Bridget's video where she spoke also about his return. He's returning, guys. Yay! So, let's get on with this, shall we?
Downfall. He believes they laugh with him, but they're actually laughing at him. After Johnny is done embarrassing himself, the attention of the public will shift somewhere else, and Johnny will be alone, destitute, and forgotten. For Johnny, no consequence could possibly be more painful than irrelevance, but that outcome is guaranteed. As I mentioned, a lot of people watch the kind of content that Johnny Somali produces because they're really kind of laughing at the content creator. Like, they look at Johnny and all his different misadventures and they find amusement in his failure. But there are some people who watch Johnny and other similar pranksters and troublemakers and genuinely enjoy their behavior. Like, figuratively speaking, they're right there with Johnny. They're next to him, enjoying these different moments when he insults people, offends people, and threatens people. Like, they really find that to be incredibly enjoyable. They think that he's onto something. They think that he is actually entertaining. Research tells us that people who are low in sadism have the opposite reaction when looking at a prankster. They get disgusted, offended, and don't want anything to do with the prankster's behavior. They just want to move on and find something else to view.
Be covering this guy because he is very problematic and a liar and a deflector and a hypocrite. So we know that Yo Mama actually kind of ran from the internet when he got called out on the things that he has said. So I am going to react to the entire video that he uploaded that it took him 10 days to come up with an answer for. That was just weak. It's like this guy cannot stop deflecting, dodging responsibility, and making excuses for some pretty messed up behavior. So let's break it down.
Listen, the world is full of millions of people, millions of minds that all think differently. But I have to say, I cannot understand the mind of somebody that thinks that laughing maniacally at the sound of a dog being beaten or a dog wounded is insane to me. I just, no.
So, when people are attracted to pranksters, does that mean they have a high level of sadism? Well, you can't really assess sadism based on one question. But in general, yes, somebody who is attracted to pranksters has a greater risk of having a high score of sadism. In order for somebody to know if they're high in sadism, they would need a more thorough assessment than that one question. But sure, there is this general tendency for people who are disgusted by pranksters to have low sadism and people who are attracted to pranksters to have a higher level.
Yo, what's up, your boy Mama back at it again? Shit. Let's get straight into the jokes. White people, let me tell y'all something. White people, no disrespect to white people, but white people treat their dogs like they're in their family. You know what I mean? Like he's part of my family. Like I had a fucking neighbor. I had a neighbor that fucking had a funeral for their fucking cat. A fucking funeral. It's like I'm gonna take a day off to fucking pray for a cat? What the fuck?
Clearly, your mama has never had pets.
That doesn't mean that the sadism will necessarily lead to problems. It doesn't mean the level is through the roof or anything. But again, there's a tendency. So one could argue it's a quick and low validity method to assess sadism.
Behavior. They're calling out your pattern of behavior about how you talk shit about somebody, and then it's all good because you're calling them out. But you splice clips together, you put clips out of context.
Oh, we got to burn them at the stake. You see how that works? The reach is out of control. And then I got to prove everything. It all stems.
Ain't nobody burning you at the stake, dude. They're using your clips to talk about you. That's what you do, right?
But I think because you'll realise, especially if you watch Bridget's video, that he's just gonna call everything a joke. It's not a joke. There was no joke there. He is no stand-up comedian. He wouldn't last 2 minutes in a comedy club. Trust me.
Certainly, I think it is a little worrisome when you see a person who is extremely attracted to pranksters. Now, watching a prankster once in a while and laughing, that's one thing. But if somebody is really spending a lot of their time just immersed in all this prankster content, or the general troublemaker like we see with Johnny Somali, that's probably not a reassuring sign. Like, I think that's worth having some level of concern. If it's a small amount of content, again, that's one thing. But if somebody's really committing their whole life to this destructive, antisocial content, then that's less than healthy. At least there's the potential that it's less than healthy.
From jokes that I made about going to my neighbor's funeral. Now, again, the problem with these clowns is that I made a lot of jokes.
You can tell that the wheels are turning. The wheels are turning in his mind to think of the next thing to say.
I made a lot of jokes. And one of the things that I made a lot of jokes about, I made a lot of jokes about my neighbor, which now here is another video that I made. Is this true too? Is this real? Am I telling the truth about my neighbor here?
Show the comments. Show the comments to the video then. Show the comments to the video where your neighbor was laughing. You can black out his name. Just black out his name and show how your neighbor, this is my neighbor right here, you guys, and this is where he was laughing. Do that. Do that to prove your point.
But again, this part didn't fit their narrative, so they didn't use it. They used the pet name, and then they made it seem like I was being dead ass serious. Crazy.
This part didn't fit their narrative. Just like you take shit out of context. Just like you took me out of context. Just like you fucking lied on Jessica Messica about garlic bread. I went back and looked at the fucking videos. I looked at them all from Jessica Messica. At no moment in time did she ever say the garlic was taking the bus.
This is garlic buying a used truck.
But you made that up. Was that a joke?
One could make the argument that these pranksters make their living finding people who have characteristics that are similar to them. Not the people they harass in the streets, but the people who watch them. So that's something to be on the lookout for. But again, you can't really look at just one metric and say, well, that shows that somebody is not sadistic or that somebody is sadistic. In order for a mental health assessment to have high quality, it needs to be comprehensive.
Right. Now, we already know that Zeta called your lying ass out because you said that you owned the boat. You didn't own the boat. And then when you got called out about it, you didn't have anything to say. And then you made a music video mocking Zeta with Vicky Vibes. I don't know why the fuck she agreed to do that fucking video with your ass. And you said in that video, oh, she doesn't understand that people can rent boats. You said that you own the boat. You got called out on it. And then you stepped back from it. Secondly, you weren't on spring break. This happened last year. Was it last year or maybe 2023? I'm not too sure. But it happened during July. Spring break is March, April. Spring break is March, April. It did not happen during spring break. Why are you lying? It happened in July where families are off, children are off from school. They're off from school during summer break. Children, it wasn't spring break. But let's go on.
In a bachelor party, screaming out, rocking out with our cocks out. I mean, the region is unbelievable. Have you been to Lake Havasu during spring break? I mean,
have you been to Lake Havasu during spring break? Because you didn't go during spring break, as I said before. It was in July. And the reason why I know that is because after you posted the video, Jan did a live stream of you being at the fucking lake. It was July. Not March, April.
strike my videos.
Show the copyright strikes. If you don't want to say who it is, just blur out the names. Blur out the names. Show some proof. Show it.
While I was going out of town. And that's the reason why I hid all my videos.
Oh, so now you were going out of town now. That's the reason why you hid all your videos.
My videos while I was going out of town. And that's the reason why I hid all my videos.
How come you didn't tell people? Usually you tell people, oh, I'm going here. I'm going to the mountains skiing. And I'm going to have some other person help my daughter up the hill because I'm going to show her in this toxic ass fucking community. Delete your daughter's channel too. People know about that. Delete it. This is a toxic ass community that you are in, and you are a major source of the toxicity.
Video.
So I think he skips over that, doesn't he? He tries to say that the cat story was a joke. It was a joke, guys. I'm always joking about silly things. Yeah, well, maybe don't joke about kicking a cat and maybe being accountable for that cat's demise. I mean, yeah, really? There's so many things that he managed to brush under the carpet. He's not made himself accountable. He's come on just making a whole pack of lies up. And if you still think this was just a joke, then I can't do anything for you. Sincerely, I cannot do anything or say anything else to make you change your mind. Himself, usually women, like shards of broken glass, his laughter erupts and interrupts every statement a sound so jagged and unnatural it seems to tear through the fabric of psychological comfort. His uninformed ramblings about serious issues, from death and racism to abuse and violence, betray not just ignorance, but a stark absence of empathy. He now performs alone on his stage of sickness, ignorance and depravity, the rabid court jester with his baying mob of degenerates who not only pay for his supper, they skulk the corridors of YouTube looking for sordid stories that they can feed back to him. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got an insight into the mind of an absolute nutter, as we would say over here. And yeah, when he comes back, no doubt certain people are going to be, you know, singing his praises. I certainly won't be, ever. So if you like this video, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and consider subscribing. You have yourselves a fantabulous weekend, and take care of yourselves out there. Because trust me, it's a rotten old world. So until the next one, bye-bye for now.